Buying in North Scottsdale, here's what every buyer needs to know. I'm BRONSKY with the Scottsdale Relocation Guide. Thanks for tuning in, and today we're going to talk about what it's like to buy a home in North Scottsdale. If you're looking to buy in North Scottsdale, let me give you a friendly heads up. It's not just about beautiful homes and jaw-dropping desert views. It's about knowing what you're buying into and understanding the uniqueness of this area before you make one of the biggest investments of your life. Whether you're relocating from upstate or just making a move north of the 101 freeway, buying here requires a bit more local savviness than people actually realize. Hi there, I'm glad you found this video. Welcome to the Scottsdale Relocation Guide. I'm here to help you navigate buying a home in North Scottsdale, which is one of Arizona's most sought-after residential areas. And I just don't mean from a price perspective. People buy here for space, privacy, views, and a lifestyle. But if you're not fully prepared, you might end up with surprises you didn't see coming. So let's talk land, HOAs, water wells, and yes, even some floodplains as well. First, let's define what I mean by North Scottsdale. Because locals here will know when we say north, we mean north of the 101 freeway, from DC Ranch up through Troon, Whisper Rock, and all the way into the high desert communities like Desert Mountain and Troon North. This area is where the Sonoran landscape gets a little wider, the homes get a little bigger, and the lifestyle, well, it starts to feel a lot more custom. Now, one of the biggest things to think about up here is the topography. North Scottsdale isn't flat like parts of Phoenix. It's elevated terrain. And with that comes sweeping views, absolutely, but also a few more logistical things to watch for, especially if you're eyeing a property on a hillside or with a wash right behind it. Is the property in a designated floodplain? Is that gorgeous arroyo something that could impact insurance or drainage in the monsoon season? These are the questions you need to answer before falling in love with a view lot. Speaking of views, yes, they are incredible in North Scottsdale, but keep in mind, views are not protected unless explicitly stated. Just because you can see Pinnacle Peak today doesn't mean a house or a development won't go up tomorrow and block it. You really have to look at zoning and current development plans that might be happening in North Scottsdale. That's why it's helpful to work with someone who knows which parcels are state land, which are privately owned, and what might be happening in the next 5 to 10 years. It's not just about what's listed on the MLS, it's about understanding what's coming next. Now let's touch on water. Many of the neighborhoods in North Scottsdale are on city water. But once you get further north, especially into areas like Rio Verde foothills, or parts of Troon North, you may run into homes on well water or hauled water. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you absolutely need to ask those questions up front. Who owns the well? How stable is the output? And what happens in a dry year? Water in Arizona is always a conversation, and it's especially important when you're outside city infrastructure. Then there's the HOA reality. Some North Scottsdale communities have very active homeowners associations with strict architectural guidelines, while others are totally non-HOA. For example, DC Ranch and Silverleaf offer high-end amenities, gated access, and community management that ensures a polished and uniform aesthetic throughout the community. So if you're someone who wants a neighborhood that has some parties, a clubhouse, trails out your front door, you're gonna love it in these communities. But if you want more autonomy, look at other neighborhoods like Pinnacle Peak Heights or some parts of Troon Canyon where there's no HOA, but still beautiful custom homes with lots of space. Buyers should also think long-term. What's your vision 5 years from now? Some people buy here to retire, others to raise a family, and some to invest in a high appreciation area. If you're planning on Airbnb-ing the property, some HOAs and even the city of Scottsdale have strict guidelines or restrictions that you must understand, know, and follow. And honestly, even if short-term rental rules aren't your concern now, they could affect resale values down the line. North Scottsdale is becoming increasingly protective of its neighborhood. neighborhoods, so knowing the zoning and city regulations matter more now than ever. Now let me walk you through just a few of the most sought after communities, because each one honestly has its own microculture up here. DC Ranch and Silverleaf are the ultra luxury, amenity driven neighborhoods with country clubs, city views, mountain views, and community events. Super popular with relocating professionals and high net worth families. Then you have Troon and Troon North. These offer golf and luxury communities, while Silverleaf does have a golf course, but you're going to get more privacy and more of a desert forward lifestyle that's all about hiking trails, walking trails, higher elevation, and truly feeling part of the Sonoran landscape. People gravitate here more for privacy and quiet. Now, further out, you might fall in love with Desert Mountain. This one's a private golf community elevated above the city. And let me tell you, it has its own zip code vibe. You're looking at gated villages, multiple courses, fine dining right inside the community, and 360-degree views that make you feel like you're living in the intro scene of a prestige Netflix series. But maybe you're not here for the club lifestyle, and that's totally fine. There are plenty of pockets with custom homes on acres, or slightly older properties with charm and potential to rehab that won't really bust your budget, but will gain some really great equity. And while your dollar doesn't go quite as far as it used to up here in North Scottsdale, some of the best opportunities are hiding in the listings that don't have all the shine, but have incredible bones and great location. Now, if you're finding this helpful, and I really hope you are, be sure to keep the momentum going. Hit the like button, click the subscribe button, and let me walk you through every step of buying a home in Scottsdale. My goal is to help you feel fully prepared and maybe even a little excited, because while this market can absolutely keep you on your toes, the lifestyle up here is really unbeatable. So let's wrap this up with what I tell every serious buyer in North Scottsdale. Don't just buy the house, buy the land, buy the community, and buy the lifestyle. Know what's around it, know what's planned around it, know your water sources, your HOA rules, your topography, and even who your nearest neighbor might be. These homes are stunning, but details matter just as much as views. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Scottsdale Relocation Guide. I'd love to hear your comments and what your top must-haves are in a Scottsdale home. Is it views, privacy, amenities, or something else? Drop your thoughts below and let's talk through it. And when you're ready to take the plunge, I'm just a message away. See you in the next video. Until then, happy house hunting.